everybody, and welcome to the Prattlecast. This is Razzle joining ya, not live, but pre-recorded on Super Tuesday with my good friend Shake. How you doing, Shake?
I'm okay. Why is today called Super Tuesday?
It's because
I don't understand.
It's because
everyone's saying this.
It's because of the election. It's the very first time in the elections, blah blah blah, that a lot of states vote at the same time. So it's Super Tuesday. It's not like the regular Tuesdays that all the other stupid states vote in, like South Carolina, because who gives a shit? But it's the actual ones that matter, like Massachusetts and Georgia.
We're really important states. We have a big say in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think that might be true of Massachusetts. I don't know about Georgia, though.
Ouch!
I mean, I'm just saying, Massachusetts is kind of a big deal.
Georgia is a big deal, too. We hosted the Olympics. Did Massachusetts ever do that?
We thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, didn't we? Weren't we chosen or thought of it?
I've never heard of a Boston Olympics. Are you sure?
Okay,
No.
I have in our papers.
No, there was a.
I'm sure there's people listening from Boston that are like, yeah, girl, I know what you're talking about.
Maybe you guys were thinking about it, but you guys weren't chosen because you guys are pretty nasty. But down in Georgia, we're very hospitable, and so we had our entire city of Atlanta.
Don't you guys still have racist holidays?
Excuse me?
That's what I thought.
What did you just say? No, I didn't hear you.
Don't you guys still have racist holidays?
Well, I mean, some people down here like to celebrate the birth and death of their treacherous nation known as the Confederate States of America.
Oh, my.
But other than that, it's a pretty hospitable place.
Oh yeah, other than our celebration.
Well, you know, down here we also didn't have Martin Luther King Day for a very long time. We had Jefferson Davis Day to celebrate.
Which is terrifying.
It is terrifying. It's a little terrifying. I grew up in that era. So, yeah, we didn't have MLK Day. But we have it now, so we got rid of Jefferson Davis Day, replaced it with MLK Day, like we should have done way back in the day.
Now, does Georgia embrace Black History Month?
Yeah. Well, I mean, our school systems do, sure.
But do the people?
That I don't know. You know what?
The school system's kind of forced to do this. The people, totally unwilling.
Well, what about Boston? Do you guys embrace?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Like, we have school programs for, like, the Boston kids, which whenever I say Boston kid, it means black kids, because they all live in Boston. It's just how it is. Like, everybody from here is going to be like, I get you. Because it's not even racist. It's just fact. That's where a lot of them live. And they, there's a lot of wealthier school systems that have programs for all of these kids to go to their schools. They do, like, a huge banquet for MLK at the schools. And they do a lot. Like, when Black History Month comes around, all the classrooms are, like, kind of decked out, and they all talk about the history and stuff. They try to make it really fun and, like, happy when there's not a happy thing about it. But they make a solid attempt to make Black History Month a good time.
Well,
so
I thought it was about celebrating, like, the great people in history who...
Well, yeah, but it's also like there's great people in history, but it's surrounded by doom. It's great. Like, yeah, like people did awesome things, but doom. Like MLK, awesome person, doom. Like it's just that's what happens. But they try really hard here. I don't think Georgia can say the same about their school systems.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we have a pretty good school system, Shake. So, I mean, yeah, no. But I will say this, one thing about Black History Month, we should always mention, and I'm going to say his name wrong because I can never remember how to say it, but I think it's Bayard Rustin? Bayard
Who the
Rustin?
fuck?
Bayard? Is it Bayard or is it Bayard? I'm so sorry for
Is this somebody from Game of Thrones? Who is this person?
Oh my God, Shake. No, he was...
Am I racist?
He was heavily involved in the civil rights movement. He was actually the guy who organized the March on Washington that Martin Luther King Jr. is so famous for, but he was also a gay man, and so he did not get that notoriety, and he was kind of pushed to the side, so to speak.
So this is why I don't know who it is.
Exactly. See, this is why we need a gay history month.
It's because he was gay. We do need a gay history month.
We do.
Because I did not know about this man, mostly because he was gay.
Exactly, and we could choose to have it in May because that's a really nice month, and it's got flowers and everything. Oh my God!
There's a lot of, you know what though, but you could do it in. I mean, how big of a fan is the gay community of pastels?
Well, I only speak for myself. I can't speak for the community because the community does its own thing now. But for me, I love pastel.
The community's kind of weird.
And I was just thinking, like, instead of school systems, you could have like, oh my God, you could have like glitter posters, and everybody could bedazzle their jackets. And I know that I'm a complete stereotype right now, but you know what? That's me. I'm okay with it. I embrace it.
It's okay to be a stereotype. We're all stereotypes.
And you know what?
In some way or another.
We could also like we need a chance to remember like that President Reagan ignored the fact that gay people were dying of AIDS until straight people got AIDS, and then suddenly he knows the word.
Oh damn.
Okay.
It's crossed over to the straight people. I must do something.
I think we need camps for the straighties. That's what we
wasn't Reagan, was it Reagan or was it Nixon? There was which one
was an asshole?
Okay, no, that's not really a question. So like I was having a conversation with someone and I can't remember it now. Which one was the one who like was so desperate that everybody liked him that even if he didn't agree with policies, he would do them just to make people happy so that people would like him? Was that Nixon or was it Reagan?
You know what?
It was one of them.
That's
it could have been both.
General description right there, and I think you.
I don't know, but you're right. That's like every president probably. Every once in a while, every president's like, I gotta do something to make them happy because they're gonna kill me. So I gotta do something. I think it was probably.
I mean, hell, that describes Ralph Nader too.
Nixon.
So I mean, just about everybody who makes it into politics.
Well, because I was talking to someone today, and this went back to our conversation about like how when people like openly talk about who they're voting for.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, and how some people like to keep it under wraps. Was that my phone?
I heard some noise. I don't know.
Oh, that is me. It was people giving me help with the podcast, so everyone just go fuck yourself. But don't. We need you here. We need you. But no, we were when we were talking about that. This our IT guy for my job came in today, and you know I literally had just gotten there. Like the store opened. I was late. I wasn't even awake. I hadn't had coffee. And he's like, oh, you voting today? And I'm not even awake to say, like, how are you? So why the fuck are you starting a conversation with this? Like, I'm already upset. So I just looked at him and I was like, no, I'm at work. I don't have time to vote today. I just don't have time. And he's like, oh, well, you're voting for Bernie, right? And I just looked at him and I was like, what? And he's like, well, we can't have Clinton. And I was like, and he's like, he's like, I consider myself, I lean to the left. What about you? And I was like, are we, what? And I'm not awake, so I think that I'm in some weird alternate universe where this is happening, because this has never happened to me before. And he's like, yeah, so, he's like, what are your opinions on things? He's like, I feel like we have a lot of ignorant voters now, and, if people were smart, they'd be voting for Bernie. And I'm like, that's very, okay. That's nice.
If people were smart, they'd think exactly like I do.
Right. And then he's like, and you know what I hate? He started talking about the bumper stickers on the cars. He's like, every person, with a bumper sticker on their car that supports Bernie. I'm like, yeah, but they're always horrible fucking drivers, so I think they make Bernie look bad. I shit you not. I shit you not. Because they have the bumper sticker and, like, they cut someone off, it's like, oh, I can't vote for Bernie Sanders now because that motherfucker doesn't know how to drive. He is a reflection of Bernie.
That's just another great reason to not use political bumper stickers, because I know I was railing on that last week, but something that really pisses me off about this election cycle, you know what, I can put up with just about almost everything, but something that really pisses me off is whenever I go on social media or go somewhere and I see people saying things like, if you're voting for so-and-so, you're a piece of shit, or you're an asshole, or you're a fucktard, or you're all of these other things. I just feel like this brings out the absolute worst in all humanity. And when I see these things, especially when they're directed toward Trump supporters with this type of language, all I'm thinking about is, my God, you're embodying everything that is Donald Trump by saying that. I mean, I don't think that the irony has reached people's minds just yet. It's just how mean-spirited everybody is. And then, really pisses me off. And whenever people say, if you don't agree with me, unfollow me. Don't follow me or don't.
Oh, God,
because I'm like,
yes.
Who wants to surround themselves with people that just agree with them all the time? That's an echo chamber. You're never going to evolve as a person. You're never going to have your thoughts challenge so you can actually become a better human being. I mean, I think it's important to have people around you who disagree with you on some very important fundamental things. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of yes men and yes women going, yes, 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 I agree with you 100%. And you'll never figure out what's right or wrong because you'll just live in your own damn little world. But that's my...
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the, lately on Facebook, I'm seeing a lot of messages from people. Like, I'll just be going through the timeline wanting to see cute videos of animals. Or, like, stuff about TV shows I watch. Or every now and again, like, interesting news. Like, that's why I go on Facebook. And, like, I don't really care how anyone's doing. I don't care about your life. I don't want to look at your ugly kids or what the fuck your husband made you for dinner last night. I don't give a shit. Like, none of that matters to me. You're just my friend, so I can look like I kind of care and say happy birthday because Facebook reminded me to. Like, that's the only purpose I serve on there. So I'm scrolling through just having, like, a good time on Facebook because, I'm at work. That's what you do. And I see this post, and it starts with, I don't care if you don't want to be my friend anymore after reading this. So, like, I read it. Because I'm like, I don't care if we're not friends either, so let's see where this takes us.
This sounds like a good adventure. Let's go.
This sounds like something I could benefit from. And they go on and on about why they don't like Donald Trump, which I don't have an issue with. I think everybody has the right to their opinions and to share them. But there's a respectful way to do that, and then there's a fucking asshole way to do it. Now, if you're talking amongst your friends, it's okay to be an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Your friends, you're used to being assholes. It's okay to be like, no, I don't like who you fucking like. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. Like, that's fine. But this person is on, like, a public forum. Like, and not every person they know on Facebook is actually their friends. And some of it's family who is not your friend. They're your family, so you're probably dead to them now. And, like, she, like, shits all over everybody who even agrees with one thing that he agrees with. And she's like, you're a horrible person. Like, you're all going to destroy this country. You're all so un-American. And I'm like, wow, so this isn't an opinion. You're just, like, rolling out the hate train. Like, this is more than that. Like, this has gone to a whole new level. And I didn't know how to take it after I read it. It was like this huge rant about how everybody should burn in hell for liking Donald Trump. And it turned into, like, her just hating everybody and not Donald Trump anymore.
I mean, something that I see a lot is that so many people have such a fear of Donald Trump. And don't get me wrong, I don't like the guy. I don't think he'd be a good president. I think he'd be a joke.
Oh, I don't think so either.
I think he'd be entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I think he'll give comedians a lot of material. But he's not really my cup of tea. Let's just put it like that. However, how many people are just absolutely afraid of him, like he is like the coming of Adolf Hitler or something? And it really surprises me that so many people actually believe that this self-promoting man actually believes half the shit he spews out. I mean, Donald Trump is basically, in my opinion, he is the guy who's coming to take home a collection that the Republican Party sort of, that deal with the devil they made in the Reagan years when they started to bring in social conservatives into their movement. And not only that, but just like put their arm around him. And that was Reagan. That's what he brought in. Or Nixon, like he brought Nixon. He's the guy who turned the Southern white people from Democrats into Republicans. I mean, these are certain pacts with the devil that have to be paid. And I think the final one was Karl Rove in 2004 when he orchestrated that whole election thing about, you know what, you've got to go to the ballots and vote against marriage equality so that we can put it inside of state constitutions. That whole thing was orchestrated to get George W. Bush reelected. But when you do stuff like that, eventually the crazy people are going to be taken more and more seriously because they're going to be more and more validated. And that's where the Tea Party, when it became orchestrated and taken over by people like Sarah Palin and Fox News and went crazy, batshit crazy. I mean, you're talking about a movement that actually started out as just a revolt against taxation and then quickly devolved into a crazy-ass conservative anti-immigration movement in a blink of an eye. And it's all because you gave these crazy people a platform. And so now you have Tea Party candidates. You have all these crazy motherfuckers that are all going to be taken seriously until you get to a point where you have a reactionary candidate like Donald Trump. I think actually, if I'm going to be honest, Donald Trump taking home the Republican nomination will probably do their party good in the long run because it will probably finally force them to take a good long look at themselves, reform themselves, become something that people can actually look at and be like, you know what? Finally, we have something to actually vote for other than crazy bullshit like xenophobic, nonsensical, racist ranting of an old white guy who thinks he's rich but is clearly in debt. And, you know, I mean, that's just my thoughts, briefly, on where I...
See, my my brief thoughts on him are much more brief than yours. Because you have a lot of political opinions.
I really don't.
And yeah, you do. Don't say you don't when it's very apparent that you do.
Well, I mean,
but
okay, go ahead.
My only problem with him is I don't understand the fear, because I don't think it is realistic to be afraid of any human being. To me, that's just weird when people are afraid of people.
Yeah.
Especially a person that you don't know, that lives in the... Because it doesn't matter if he's on TV talking all the time, because I don't know why people can hear what he's saying, because he says different shit every time he speaks. It doesn't even make sense. But he does... It makes no sense. Like, you're scared of something that makes no sense. So what I believe is that if, by some crazy, like, the trolls of the internet band together and Trump gets elected, if that ever happens, and we have Donald Trump as the United States president,
yeah,
I think that is, I think it'll be very sad. It'll also be very funny, and I don't think he's going to handle it at all.
Oh, God.
I think everything would quickly be taken out of his hands because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's obvious every time he speaks. You don't need to be afraid of him because everything's going to be taken out of his hands. It's not going to happen. And the only reason someone like that gets voted into office, I mean, if it happens, what you should be more afraid of is, like, the people you're around and the humans that we've raised, like the world that we live in. Like, people have kind of gone to shit.
Well, yeah.
If he wins anything. Like, I'm sorry, but I think that's a people problem. Like, if you're actually someone that supports Donald Trump, good for you, but I think you're insane. Like, I think it's kind of crazy. Like, I would love to see if anybody that listens to this is a big supporter of him. I would love, and I'm not saying this sarcastically, I would love to know why. I really do. I want to know why you support him, what you think is so great about him. And I want logical response, not just your fucking craziness.
Well, I think that a lot of people...
I would like to know that.
But I think a lot of people that are voting for him or that support him so much, it has little to nothing to do with him. I mean, I think this is a voting bloc that for a long time has felt like their voice has been taken away. And these are people who don't trust media outlets. These are people who believe media outlets want to push agendas that are different from their own. And these are people who feel like because they're being silenced and because so many things are changing against the way they want them to change, this is sort of like their way of lashing back. And this is their way of saying, you know what, screw you Republicans and screw you Democrats and screw you media. So honestly, if you want to know the number one way to increase Trump support is to continue to insult Trump supporters, to continue to insult Donald Trump, because those two things have seen huge spikes in his popularity, because people are flocking to him, not because of him or his... If you notice, he doesn't even have a platform. He doesn't actually believe in anything. Like, he says a bunch of rhetoric and racist shit all the fucking time, and people like it because he gets away with it. He doesn't apologize. That's why people say they're voting for him, because he says it like it is, as if that's a fucking reason to vote for somebody. I mean, like, he tells it like it is. Like, okay, who gives a shit? Like, he could tell it like it is. Not really. I mean, I don't think he actually does. But even if he did, why is that a reason to vote for somebody? I mean, you need somebody who can navigate political waters. Like I've said before, the only reason I would ever vote for anybody is based on how they respond to a crisis, because that is the only thing that matters when it comes to a president, how they respond to a crisis. And I don't think Donald Trump is the best man in that regard, because I think he's way too fucking populist and hot-natured. So,
yeah, he strikes me as what's the word I'm looking for? He might be dramatic.
very ill temperament. Very.
Yeah, he's very dramatic in nature
Oh my God,
anyway.
yes.
I mean, when you've spent a lot of your adult life on Celebrity Apprentice.
And WrestleManias and.
Oh dear God.
Oh, in Home Alone 2.
Oh.
He was in Home Alone 2.
Oh, I forgot about that. What if our president was in Home Alone 2?
Well, I mean, it would. Well, I mean, we had Reagan, who was also an actor who did a lot of shit films. So.
Well, you know, that was Reagan. It was a different time.
It was the 80s. Oh my God.
It was a different time.
It wasn't that long ago.
It was long enough ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Okay, if you had to choose between Reagan and Trump.
If I had to choose between Reagan and Trump.
Yeah.
Well, what? What?
Just pick one.
Wait, what are you talking about? Like, if I had to, what era are we in?
Who should be in office right now?
Like, right this second.
Yeah, who would be better fit? Think of Reagan as
Those
Reagan
are my only
was,
two options?
Those are your
In
only
what
two
level of
options.
hell do I only get to choose between two Republicans?
It's this level of hell.
Between Trump and Reagan. Oh, Jesus.
Go on. Who would you rather have as our current president?
Well, you know,
you don't need to tell me why.
You just want to know, and I'm sitting here. I'm
suffer.
actually trying to think about this, and I can't think of either one of them. That would be a good.
So you'd rather we fall into into anarchy? That's what you want.
You know what?
You
I
don't
actually
even want
would
a
not
president.
mind minarchy. So I guess.
So in the event that we're left with Reagan and Trump, you're just voting for you know what? Fuck it.
Vote for Big Bird.
There's no more democracy.
Vote for Big
Do
Bird.
what you want.
Why? Who would you vote for
Big
if
Bird.
you had to choose between those?
If I had to.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, okay. If we're going spur of the moment thought process, I'm not touching Reagan. I don't want to go near that. That does not need to. He doesn't need to exist in this day and age. I think he'd have a heart attack.
You know, he actually has a lot in common with Trump.
But I just think Donald Trump is a little bit. Never mind.
Well,
I was gonna say safer, but then I felt very unsafe saying safer. I was like, maybe he's a safer choice now because he's actually living in this time, but he doesn't. I don't think he's actually present.
Well, I mean,
so I don't think it would work out.
Well, I mean, the Republicans didn't even like Reagan when he was running. They didn't want him to be president, and they don't want Trump to be president. They didn't want.
Oh my
Teddy
God,
Roosevelt.
It's already over. Trump's gonna be president.
So I mean, he is very
Calling
much like
it now.
Reagan in the sense that the establishment hates him. So.
Well, then we need to get on making Donald Trump masks.
What?
We need to do it. Everybody, somebody get on that. I want the silicone masks. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure they already have those.
God damn it! Can I just invent something?
I mean, you could, but I think you'd also be sued.
Fuck
Gonna
me.
sue you for taking his image.
That's what they. Do you think they did that in the Halloween movies?
With William Shatner?
Because that was William Shatner.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't think that. Probably, I don't know.
Well, it doesn't really look like William Shatner.
Exactly, they changed it, so they
painted it and shit, and
so you can't even tell.
I guess. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the Reagan one, it looks like Reagan.
Yeah, it does.
That looks like Reagan. I see that in a lot of bank robberies, which is strange, isn't it? But that's how it works. So, in this weird circumstance where we're talking about politics for almost a half hour.
It's Super Tuesday, so we have to.
Fuck me. Who's Samantha Bee?
Samantha Bee.
I've seen you posting about her today, and what is it, The Daily Show?
Oh, no.
Was it The Daily Show that you were talking
about?
No. Or was it something else?
Samantha Bee. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay, well, as you know by now, hopefully, The Daily Show is no longer hosted by Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Now hosted by Trevor Noah. And, when I first heard about that, I was actually kind of excited because I'd seen a Trevor Noah stand-up comedy on Netflix. I'd seen his stand-up, and it was actually really good. And I was laughing the whole time. It was just hilarious. He knew how to write jokes. I thought, this guy's going to be a great host, and a lot of people didn't think he would be. And I was like, no, guys, just give him a chance. And so he takes over the show. This is back, I guess, September or October, November, something.
So he's funny stand-up-wise. We at least can say that.
I would say that.
Okay.
I'd say he's a pretty good comedian. And so he takes over the show, and the very first episode is pretty poor. There was one funny bit that one of the correspondents did, but everything else on the show was kind of flat. But, you know, I didn't really expect much at first because, like, you know, he's just got to warm up to it. So I'm watching this thing for like 3 months, and I found maybe 3 or 4 of the bits kind of funny out of 3 to 4 months. And then I just finally said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And then I come to find out that Samantha Bee is going to have her own show. And I'm not excited for it at all because I remembered Samantha Bee. She was one of the correspondents on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. She was there for well over a decade. She and her husband. Her husband, is it Jason Jones, I think? I don't remember. But anyway, they were both on there. I've never really been a fan of the correspondents. I never found them that funny, and I certainly didn't find her funny. And so I heard she had a show. I was like, okay, big deal. You know, she wasn't that funny on the Daily Show. But then I read this article online that's saying, no, you've got to go watch the Samantha Bee show because it's actually hilarious. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give her a chance. I pull up her YouTube channel, and in the first minute of the very first sketch I see, I am like on the floor laughing. This woman is hilarious.
Wow.
She has got her finger to the pulse about.
But you didn't like her on the Daily Show.
I hated her on the Daily Show, but as a host,
Is she playing a character on the Daily Show though?
well, I mean, I think all the correspondents do to some degree. I think they all try to pretend to be like pretentious journalists, you know.
So how is she on her own show?
Oh, she's amazing on her own show. She's just on fire. She goes after everybody, and that's what I love about her. And she does it in a way that's not preachy. Now, don't get me wrong. She'll probably get very preachy with some stuff, just like they all do. But with Trevor Noah's show, I've noticed that his show tends to get a little too preachy for my taste. And whenever I'm watching comedy for politics, don't get preachy with it because I will immediately just lose interest, even if I agree with what you're saying. But Samantha Bee, basically, she went after everybody. She went after Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, all of the Republicans. She went after everybody. There was no stone unturned with who she was going after. And I just thought the whole thing was hilarious. And I highly
Is she on Comedy Central?
Nope. No, Comedy Central didn't even offer her the job of The Daily Show. They gave it to Trevor Noah, who was not even a correspondent on The Daily Show. I think he maybe appeared on that show 2 or 3 times before.
So where's her show at?
Her show is on TBS, and it's every Monday. But she also has a YouTube channel where she uploads a lot of clips from her show and that type of thing. And she's great. It's called Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, and it's hilarious.
Ooh, that sounds dirty.
Oh, it does sound dirty, but it's hilarious.
It's probably dirty. It's politics. It's pretty dirty.
But yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out. I don't really watch live TV often. I don't have time. And I don't really watch anything that's on TBS, which is probably why I haven't heard of it.
I don't really either. And I wish it was on like Hulu or something, because then it would just be easy to just consume it. But, you know. But I think Comedy Central really fucked up by not offering her the gig, because she's proven. I think she also took one of their lead writers, maybe even the lead writer of The Daily Show, just to give you an idea of maybe what the background or the backstage politics were at that time. Like, if you're taking the lead writer with you and they're not going to stick around for the new host, maybe you're picking the wrong host.
Well, like, I mean, you got to figure, like, I mean, that was Jon Stewart for years.
Oh, yeah.
And now, from what I saw from what you've been posting, this new kid is doing horribly.
Some people like it.
And it's just, but no, it's like there's a lot of talk of how it's just kind of ruined what was had with Jon Stewart.
Yeah, and a lot of people were trying to make the argument like, no, you just gotta let him fill in the shoes. You gotta give him some time. And I'm like, if that's true, then how the hell did Samantha Bee knock it out of the park in her first fucking episode? And remember, these are two polar opposite situations. I went into Trevor Noah actually thinking, you know, this is going to be pretty good. I went over to Samantha Bee thinking kind of with reservations about it. And so even though my expectations were different, I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt that those two shows are radically different. And you know what? I think Comedy Central, you fucked up. I think you fucked up big time, because clearly you had a gem and you let her go. And you know what? Have fun with Trevor Noah. So I'm not watching that show anymore. I've given up on Trevor Noah. But I wish him all the best, though, right? Yeah, right. Okay.
We're taking this moment to say fuck you, Comedy Central.
Fuck you, Comedy Central. You fucking.
You wouldn't know comedy if it hit you in the face.
I mean, I swear to God, you've lost it. I mean, they're no longer.
I mean, that's why we, you know, it's funny because, you know, we were in talks with Comedy Central And they didn't want us either. They don't know. You know, don't laugh about it, Razzle. You were pretty heartbroken about this at the time.
I was.
Like, we were talking to them because we wanted our own talk show. And they told us no, that we're not funny.
We just aren't.
We are not what they're looking for. But yet they'll put on shows about guys smoking weed in an office and sitting on their roof drinking.
I don't even think I watch Comedy Central anymore because most of my stuff is all internet TV based, and that was like the only thing I was even paying attention to because it was on Hulu. And I really was just watching it because there was nothing else to watch when I got home to eat, because I would get home with something to eat and I'd like put on something to watch while I'm eating, and then I'd go right to my book. But so that was just easy because, you know, there was always an episode. But I won't even do it now. That's why I started watching Arrested Development, because I just have given up on Trevor Noah.
Everything's Netflix for me.
Yeah.
It's Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, mostly because I don't have time. Like, I still have cable and everything, and I DVR all the shows I do watch. Because, like, if I start watching something on Netflix and it's still on TV, I'll DVR it so I can keep watching it. But, like, I just don't have time to sit in front of a TV. And every time I've put Comedy Central on, like, I usually see a lot of stand-ups on, but it's always stand-up comedians that, like, I'm like, I don't care about you. And it's like they'll do the same guy all day. And yeah. I don't care.
I remember they used to have a show on Comedy Central that was like a half hour long, and they'd have like a different comedian on every time. And it was kind of fun because you would like meet different comedians. And
I like sampling them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't mind that because even if they're hit and miss, I can still say, like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. Like, I kind of saw what they do. Okay.
Like all the ones
but to me, they don't do any inspirational comedians. I'm not seeing anything different anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ones I watch now are like, if they go on Netflix, like with their special, then I'll watch their special. That's how I got introduced to Bill Burr, who's now my favorite comedian. I got introduced.
That's how I got introduced to Eliza.
Oh, I love her.
Eliza Schlesinger? I can never say her last name.
I can't even say it either, but she is hilarious.
Schlesinger. Yeah, she's fucking great.
And that's how I got introduced to.
Did you get the lobster?
But like everybody from Louis C.K. to even Aziz. How do you say his name? The guy from
Aziz Ansari.
Yes, Aziz.
Yeah,
Ansari.
he's on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, and he.
I didn't like him a lot on Parks and Rec. He was always like, I found him amusing, but he was kind of annoying. I was just like,
I think you'll like his stand-up because he actually did a stand-up bit on texting and that kind of thing. So like the stuff we were talking about last week. So.
Yeah, I got into Louis C.K. through Netflix too. That's how I was also introduced to Mark Maron and fell in love very hard and fast with Mark Maron. But I found a lot of people that I love on there now.
Oh yeah, I mean Netflix is gold. And to think it all started because of Blockbuster. If I remember the story, it's that the founder of Netflix had like overdue videos at Blockbuster or something to that effect, and he had a problem with the way that it was set up where you had to pay like a fee or whatever for the late video. I don't remember the full details. I may be saying the story wrong a little bit, but I do know that is...
Who cares? Netflix can afford for you to mess up their story. It's okay.
But Blockbuster refused to get involved in the streaming business, and look what happened.
Well, Blockbuster is not out of business.
Oh, well, they might as well be.
They're not, because when I took a trip to El Paso, Texas, which is, if for those of you who have never been to Texas, like Texas, I always thought it would be like desert, really. And I was right. I mean, everyone told me there's like, you know, the big cities that are really fun and have a lot to do. But El Paso is literally nothing but you get off the plane and all you smell is sweat. And then there's a military base and then nothing. Just nothing for miles. And then when I went to this one shopping plaza, there's just a grocery store, a liquor store, and then in the corner, I saw it. There was a fucking Blockbuster, and I was in so much shock that I had to take a picture of it. Like, I don't know why I felt the need to photograph the fact that I saw a Blockbuster, but I was like, is that still open? Do people still go there? Can I get a membership? What is this? Like, it just was so foreign, because I haven't seen a Blockbuster in years. Just like I haven't seen Hollywood Video, like, all those places.
Movie Gallery.
They're all gone. Like, you used to be able to rent video games, too, but now they have GameFly, which no one fucking uses.
Oh, yeah, and back in the day...
If people use GameFly still, I'm concerned.
Like, you could go to one, and like, the bigger ones were like the size of supermarkets back in the day, and they had like video game sections. I remember renting like NES games and SNES games right when they were coming out, and it was...
Yeah, I used to get a lot of games.
Oh, it was so much fun. like back in the day when it was all VHS and that
I don't
was
know.
a
There's
weekend.
something I miss about it. There's things I miss about it. Like, I don't miss the, like, shit, I gotta go there today and return this. Like, I don't miss any of that, but, like, I don't know. It's like it's a nostalgia thing, I think. I just miss the feeling of going in and, like, I'd go with my parents and I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna pick my movie. And I was always so torn of what I was gonna pick because I got a movie and a game every time. And I'm like, what do I want? And I could never make up my mind.
It's a struggle that young people today will not be able to identify with as they grow older. Like they'll never understand what it's like to have to choose one movie for a weekend or one video game for a weekend. But it was real. Like, and if you make the wrong choice, you're stuck with this bad game and you just suffer through it because you're not going to.
Or you make the right choice and then you realize I have 3 days. And then that's it. You're just like, I have 3 days. I'm doing nothing but this game. Cancel all my plans. I have no more friends. I'm not riding bikes this weekend, kids. I am beating this.
There were plenty of multiple rentals for me on certain games. Like, I guess one game I rented a lot of, and I have to think about this one. I remember I rented Battletoads more than once. I don't know why, though, because I never could get past, like, the second stage, ever.
I remember getting, I'm not going to say the name right, the one where you're that dog who wears the beanie and you're a rapper.
I am so confused right now.
I got that one a lot. And then I discovered Chrono Cross through the store and didn't like Chrono Cross is like 2 or 3 discs long. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to rent this. I'll beat it in 3 days. I opened it up, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm never going to finish this. So I rented it, like, 45 times because I had to do it. But, like, I was so young where, like, I couldn't comprehend the story. Like, I didn't really know what was going on, so I didn't get it. And then when I got older, I ended up buying the game, and now as an adult, I'm like, oh, my God, this game is deep. And as a kid, I didn't get it. I played this game wrong. So wrong. But at least I had fun.
I remember like the Disney games like Aladdin and like back when those Disney games were so
Lion
good.
King.
Oh, I owned that one though. I owned Lion King.
That was the worst game ever.
What?
Worst as in it was really fucking awesome, but it was really hard.
It wasn't too hard for me. Of course, I had the Nintendo version.
Yeah, that's why.
So yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like Super Nintendo. That's what I had.
It's I thought that game you couldn't save.
In which one?
There was in the Lion King you could not save your game.
Oh, I don't even remember that. Like I think it's because
could not play the game. You had to beat it in one sitting.
Well, it must not have been too long then. The only game I ever had a problem with that, like saving, was like Jurassic Park.
I never beat the game.
Ever?
I never beat the Lion King.
I don't remember it being too long. Like I remember you start off as
I still haven't lived out my childhood dream. Like I still haven't beaten it.
Jumping over prairies and shit, and then like you come to a point
get
where
hit by those tumbleweeds.
But then there's like the part where it's like this kind of changes the perspective, so you're looking right at Simba as like the wildebeest or whatever coming at him, and then there's like the part where you go to Hakuna Matata. Or wait, no. There's also the scene with the hyenas when you're a cub, and then you go to like Hakuna Matata, and then you're kind of coming back to fight the evil Scar. It wasn't that long of a game.
They should have made a Fox and the Hound game.
You know what? Yeah.
Oh my God, they should make a co-op Fox and the Hound game because then we could play it.
You know what? One
right?
co-op game they used to have was called Goof Troop, and I would love to play that again. So.
That's fine. Let's do it.
Oh, I remember that show though. That was a good show.
Fox and the Hound would be an interesting game. I think Disney could do so much with their games if they just geared it to the right crowd. Like, just give it to me. Don't give it to the kids. It's wasted on them. They're not a generation that appreciates video games anymore because they don't. They expect all this shit. Like, my sister has seen me playing old games. And she's like, what is this? They look like crap. And I'm like, you don't even understand. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about right now. Like, kids don't appreciate it. Make the games for me. Like, make it for the grown-ups. Because we appreciate it. Don't think about the kids anymore. Fuck them.
Wow.
I'm just being real.
Like, just
they don't need video games.
Make those kids play those hard games. See if they get through them.
Yeah, make them care. Like they don't give a shit anymore. They get annoyed and they're like, "Fuck it, I don't even want an Xbox." Like they don't even care. They'd rather sit on their phone and play whatever the fuck they play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what they do anymore. They just sit there. I don't know what's going on with teenagers.
I certainly don't.
It makes me feel old. It just makes me feel old. It's very upsetting. And since we're on the topic of video games, I have a question for you.
Okay.
If you had to live your life in any video game ever made, what would it be?
Little Mermaid.
Which character would you be in that video game?
I would be a create your own mermaid.
No, you have to go by an actual game that was actually made.
Oh. But that wasn't a game.
You can't just make up your own video game.
That was a video game, Little Mermaid.
Okay, but you have to pick a playable character in that game.
Oh my god, Shake.
Listen, I asked the question, you answer it. For fuck's sake.
I don't know. Wait, hold on 1 second.
Okay. Oh, you're useless.
What?
You're just shit.
What?
Yeah, what do you mean, I don't know? Come on, think about it.
Okay. Why don't you go first?
Why don't I go first?
And say Mass Effect.
Did you say I'm going to say Mass Effect? Oh my god, why would you say that?
I don't know. Just a guess.
Well, you see, I can tell you why I wouldn't pick Mass Effect. I do not have the physical abilities that Commander Shepard has.
Oh, I figured you'd be a Liara.
I don't. Excuse me. I thought we were friends. I realize now that is not true. Are you calling me a whore?
Oh my god, they are not whores.
Or are you saying I'm a lesbian?
Scientist.
Am I a lesbian?
She's an archaeologist.
Is this where I find out I'm gay?
And she's more of a bisexual than a lesbian.
Oh no, she is so all over femshep in a way that is unbelievable.
Well, have you ever played the male Shep character?
I started one, and she does not have the same. It's not the same. She can be bisexual. That's fine. I don't care if she's bisexual, but she really would prefer a woman.
See, I think she just likes playing coy and playing shy with the guys.
Playing coy?
No, with the guys. Like, she likes being the, oh, little old me.
Yeah, and with the women, she's like, I want your body.
Well, she knows those games aren't going to work with another woman.
I mean, that's true. She's so aggressive, though.
Well, I mean, look at Caden. It takes him 3 games to finally say, hey.
I would have thought of myself as more of a Gareth.
Well, I figured you would pick Gareth, yeah.
But, because, you know, I'm, like, super attractive. I'm really smart. And I don't give a fuck. But I could never be in Mass Effect because I'm too scared. I couldn't do what Commander Shepard does. I couldn't do it.
Oh, me either.
I could not go out there and fight Reapers. I'd be like, you know what? Let the fucking world end. I'm out. Like, I know I would do that. Like, I would let everyone down because I couldn't do it. I think if I was going to be in a game, I could be in Dog's Life. I could be a dog and just run around finding my doggy girlfriend and, like, having peeing games against other dogs and, like, shitting all over the place. That'd be fun because I'd get to be a dog. Or, if I'm going more realistic, I couldn't be, I think of games I really love. Like, I think of The Last of Us, and then I realize I would again be too afraid. I would not want to deal with a kid that wasn't mine. Like, I'd be so scared. This is a hard question now that I've put thought into it.
Wow.
A dog's life would be easy, though. That's, like, really fun. You know, living the life of a dog, running around, finding smells, finding my doggy girlfriend.
A simple life.
I could do that. That would be pretty good. Oh, I could do Harvest Moon, too.
Yeah, you could do Harvest Moon.
I could live in that world. Like, that'd be pretty fun. Like, I'd be a little farmer. I have to court people by giving them milk and flowers and shit. Like, yeah, I could make friends really easy. People would like me. You know? I'd be busy. There you go. I am so lame. I would not be in a cool game. I'd just be Harvest Moon or A Dog's Life. There you go. That's my ideal universe.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's all I could survive in. I'd be dead so quick in Mass Effect. Like, as much as I love that universe, I'm not gonna make it. I'm done. Like, I'm gone. Like, I'm gone in the first game. There is no series if I'm in it. It's gone.
Makes sense. You know what? I think I would pick Detroit. I would be Kara. Because she's an AI.
That game's not even out yet, so that's not a good answer.
Well, I mean, you
You can't
artificial
pick
intelligence.
a game. See, but here's the thing. Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll let you have this choice. Because, you know what? No, you're going to eat your words. Everybody remember this. Because when this game comes out and you play through it, you're going to realize that your life is hell. Because Quantic Dream has never made a game where your character is happy.
Well, I mean, I think that's obvious that her life's going to be hell because, like, she's...
So you want to have a shitty life?
Well, no, but, like, she's also, like, well, if you think about it, like, she's, like, liberating her people, you know?
And you think you could do that?
Shake, I can do that.
You are such a fucking liar.
I am not a liar. I could do that.
That's like me saying I could be Jodie from Beyond Two Souls. I couldn't do it.
You could do
I
it.
want to live with some creature.
You could grow up in a
Fucking
lab
cat.
with Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe
with
watching
some
you.
fucking ghost guy who's just like, all the time being my friend. Like, no, I'm good. Kill me. Put a bullet in my fucking head. I'm done. And then I have to deal with Willem Dafoe crying all the time. I'm done. That's like a nightmare in itself, having to look at that face. I don't want to look at that every day.
Oh, my God.
But you just said Quantic Dream has made a game that you could live the rest of your life in.
I could, yeah.
And this is a Quantic Dream game that you're talking about.
Yes, it is.
You are going to regret this so fucking hard. I'm just letting you have it because, your life's going to suck.
Oh, my God.
That's fine. Enjoy your life.
I will. That'd be amazing.
I'm waiting for you to break the silence and give us a topic.
Oh, you want me to give you a topic?
Yeah, I've been carrying this.
Oh, okay. Well.
So I'm letting you carry a little bit.
Well, then let's talk about Fuller House.
Oh my God! I'm so happy you chose that. Because I was about to just roll into it and just be like, hey, I want to talk about it. But I figured I'd wait.
Okay. Well, here.
So what about Fuller House, Razzle?
Well, I did a little bit of research.
How dare you?
Because I know we were talking about the Olson Twins and everything. And so I came to find out that the Olson Twins...
You want a shortbread cookie?
Wait, excuse me?
I have a shortbread cookie here that I'm about to eat. Do you want one?
Thank you for interrupting my thought with your shortbread
Sorry,
cookie.
but you can continue your thought now.
The Olsen twins, like, one of the biggest reasons they didn't show up, and, like, there's a chance Mary-Kate might be in the next season or maybe even in a season after, even if Ashley isn't.
Is going to be a next season?
I would think so. I think it's doing incredibly well, but I would also say that, but no, the reason why they aren't there has more to do with Ashley Olsen, and her.
That's not the anorexic, is it?
No, that was Mary-Kate went through anorexia.
Oh, that's why you said "shut up, Ashley." To
yes,
me.
that is.
So you're admitting to it.
But
okay.
But Ashley is the one who's currently is currently suffering through Lyme disease. And so that has a lot more to do with why they did not come back to do the show, is because of that. And I can already picture, like, them on the set with Ashley Olsen in an irritable mood the entire fucking time, and I could just see that going well. So they probably made the right call.
Yeah, but Mary-Kate might fall over and die.
Oh my God, Shake.
She might throw up when they say chicken.
No, but I think they genuinely would have wanted to do it. I really do. At least Mary-Kate.
So the jokes were in good fun.
Oh yeah, I don't think they were meant to be insulting. And in fact, the people who, like, when they were interviewing John Stamos and all them, that's pretty much what they said. They didn't mean it as an insult. It was meant as a light jab, a humorous jab, kind of like a friend would do to another friend.
Right.
So no, but I think Mary-Kate might do it. I don't think there's any chance in hell of Ashley doing it. But Ever.
Why?
With her fucking Lyme disease shit.
Oh my God, Lyme disease isn't forever.
For some people it is. And hers has been going on for years.
Well, then she's the twin that wasn't supposed to be born.
Oh my God, Shake.
Goodbye.
Oh my God, natural selection.
Goodbye, Ashley.
But no, apparently that has something to do with it. Now, I don't know if that's the whole story, but I do know that Mary-Kate apparently expressed interest in it. But whether or not she comes back without her sister, who knows? I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
I think the show's better without them.
Well, I mean, it would just be like a guest appearance, sort of like they were doing with, like, Joey came back for an episode. John.
I just don't think she's useful. Like, I don't think I mean, I've been excited about every person that I've seen, but I wouldn't really care.
Well, I think she was important to the show, so I'd like for her to come back for just one, like, even if it was just like a light something silly and then gone forever, just like a goodbye type thing, because she's the only one who isn't back. They brought back the fucking boy twins, for God's sakes. So,
which no one needed to see.
Nobody needed to. No.
Really? You are gonna look at Jesse and tell me that's what happened? I feel bad for them because that's
But
that's not.
A lot of people have been like shitting on the show, and I think it's a pretty silly show. But I think it's also a family show, and it's more in the mode that the original show was in. So if you went there looking for some kind of nuanced parody of itself, sort of like the Brady Bunch movies were of the original show, then you're going to be disappointed. But otherwise, it's just something light and something you can do while you're drinking alcohol and cracking some jokes. Otherwise,
oh my god!
Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend watching it unless you have kids. They might enjoy it.
Yeah, because it was fun to watch. I mean, we've only watched half of it.
Yeah, we got to episode 7, I think.
Yeah. Yes, you made me watch episode 7.
And I also made you watch Finding Neverland.
Which was very good.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll talk about that in a second.
Wait, why a second?
Because I wanted to say how, you know what, fuck it.
No, go ahead, say what you were going to say.
You know what,
No, say what you were going to say.
I thought the show was really good for what it is. I think we could do without this rat that Kimmy Gibbler gave birth to.
Oh my god.
What?
Jesus.
What? She gave birth to a fucking rat, like a Mexican sewer rat. Like that's what that is. It's just a giant rat. And then I was also really like irked by the little boy and the older brother. And how this little boy has more acting skills than his older brother, but they both kind of fall short into the whole, like, it's, like, almost cringy sometimes. I think they're very cringy, but I think what holds me is just seeing the original cast together.
Mm-hmm.
Minus Stephanie. There's not a piece of my body that needs to keep seeing her in that show.
Well, I mean, there are a couple of characters here. There's like DJ, Kimmy, Stephanie's boobs, and then the rest of the...
Stephanie's, each boob has its own fucking spot on the show. It's insane. It's just... Stephanie doesn't need to be there.
How rude.
The very best episode for me was the first one, though, when they start jamming hard to New Kids on the Block.
I was actually just about to bring that up. But yeah, they actually did the whole choreography from the music video and everything.
And that was amazing, because I feel like if they're True Blue, they didn't have to practice that. They were just like, oh, no, don't show us how to do it. Like, we were fans. Please.
There are a lot of people that can do that, myself included. Like, we would watch those videos and just memorize the dance routines. So I think it's kind of like...
Well, when they were doing it in the show, like, I was sitting in my chair trying to do it without getting up and doing it. I was like, oh, girl, I'm here. I'm with you guys. Woo! That was good. I enjoyed that.
New Kids ruled the world at that time.
They still do.
Well, no, they don't.
Well, okay, they rule the world to those of us who are still with them. We never left the block, and neither did they.
But I think that people could forget just how big of a deal they were, though. Like in the early 90s when they came on the scene, everybody just wanted to see them in the concerts. There were the jackets, the lunch boxes, the fucking dolls, the
video game.
There's a video game?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Hold on, let me use the art.
I know Marky Mark had a video game. It wasn't much of a game, but I don't remember the New Kids one.
Hold on, I could be crazy.
I do remember there was, I think, there might have been a board game, but I don't remember.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of. Like, I don't remember. There might have been one. I'm not going to say there isn't, because I don't know.
Yes, there is.
What was it?
Oh, okay, what is this? No. Oh, it was that's what I was getting confused on. They have a prototype for an NES game they were going to make.
Oh. Was it based on the cartoon, or was it based on...
No, it's all of them on the cover. It's all of them. They were going to have an NES game.
So I felt like I would have owned it if they had one. That's why I was confused.
Yeah. It didn't quite get there.
Like, I had the sleeping bag, the pillowcase, everything.
Did you ever kiss your pillowcase?
Of course.
Oh, my Lanta.
I also had the doll. I had the Jonathan Knight doll. So.
You know, I mean, your taste is your taste. I don't think he's cute.
You're insane, so... Whatevs.
Well...
Whatevs.
It's kind of weird that you happen to like the only one that's actively available to you.
At the time, he was with Tiffany, but we all knew.
we all knew. Oh, Tiffany, she's your cover. Yeah,
Tiffany
is that
was
what
such
she
a
is?
sweet.
She's my invisibility cloak. No one knows.
I guess weird because
he's married now. I think, isn't
Who?
he? Isn't Jonathan married? What? I think they're all married now except for Danny. Danny's too bad
Jesus Christ,
to be married.
Danny. The one
Danny
I didn't give a
is,
shit about.
Like, the weird thing with Danny is, like, he was the break dancer.
I mean...
But, like, he can't really sing.
No.
And he's got a face that I feel like he's halfway towards anamorphing into a wolf.
He's got that...
Like, he's got his face is very strange to me.
Yeah, his face always looks like it's eating a cookie.
Like his mouth is way too big. He's got like a Joker mouth.
He's got like
it's so strange.
Like a Ninja Turtle mouth. It's
yeah. I was always a big Donnie girl.
Oh, I know.
And I've also got my little bit of a taste for Joey.
Oh, everybody likes Joey. I like him as an adult.
Yeah, you can't not like Joey. I don't like any of them as 10-year-olds.
Well, they were 10, but I mean, like Jordan had his rat tail, so.
They all looked like shit.
I think Donnie
when they were
had a
ral
rat tail too.
Yes, they did. Don't talk to me.
Jesus Christ! I think Jonathan.
And Jordan is also very pretty, but he's too pretty for me. Well, because he does solo albums now, and he does like this really weird club music, and I can't get behind it. He's got a beautiful voice though, and very nice hair, and a pretty face.
Oh, yeah,
and
I love
he
Jordan.
takes his clothes off, and I'm happy. So I can't complain.
I mean, Jordan.
But I think I like Donnie because he's rough. He's a rough
he was
and tumble.
the rapper. He was the one who would do all the raps. He would be like, "Never gonna fall, but I fell. Loving you."
Oh! He's got those white boy skills. Wasn't Jonathan not in the group for a long time?
No.
Didn't he have a lot of issues going on stage, and did he have issues with actually performing live?
He had, was it agoraphobia?
Yeah, he was had really bad panic attacks and stuff. From what I heard,
he had trouble. If you go back and watch some of the interviews they did, with Oprah, you can actually see it. That he is very nervous about being in front of other people. And now after the group disbanded, he spent many years just isolated and would not leave his home or his room or whatever. It was that bad. And finally, though, he did. And I think he was one of the reasons why they did not do much of a reunion tour until they were finally able to get him on board, and that he felt comfortable enough doing it. And so that was awesome. And I'm glad that he was able to do it, because that's...
Well, I don't know if you were present or if you were aware of them when they came back.
Oh, are you talking about for the reunion?
When they released that Summertime music video?
You're talking about when they first got back together?
Well, yeah, and they were since 1988, and they were all getting off the planes and jogging through the woods and stuff, and they were all yeah, we're here, we're back, guys, get on my level.
Because I remember when they changed themselves from New Kids to NKOTB back in '94 or so, because that was that was right toward the end, and they were trying to change their image. They were trying to go from being pop to being kind of more serious with their music, and it didn't really work out very well when they decided to do that. But I mean, and I think a lot of them didn't really even like the pop genre. They were just kind of going along with it because.
Well, I think they're having a lot of fun now.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Because now, when I saw them, because yes, I saw them live. I'm an adult. Leave me alone. They were just having a party up there. They didn't even care, and it was weird. It was like watching guys that were just best friends hanging out. They weren't even trying to impress anybody. They were just fucking around, hitting each other over the head. And I was like, this is great. This is just great. I'm watching a bunch of 40-year-olds just hurt each other. I'm excited.
What a lot of people may forget is that around '94 when they disbanded, they were kind of considered a joke. They had been kind of because they went through that big period of huge popularity. Like I said, they had their own cartoon. They really established.
That's so weird. I didn't know they had a cartoon.
Oh yeah, and so they went through all of that, and then suddenly you get to this point where your fame is suddenly just kind of hit by this new era of music that's coming in, because you remember synth pop was getting out of style. People were embracing more of the grunge of the 90s, and so NKOTB became very much dated very fast, and so they were kind of considered a joke, and nobody took them seriously anymore, and then they just kind of faded away. But the good news for them is that eventually time passed. And the longer that time passed, the more sentimental people became for the shit that they used to love. And especially nowadays, where I feel like people are more free to embrace things that they like instead of following trends. So I think that's a huge reason why New Kids was able to come back and just light that fire of people who just remembered New Kids and just like, oh my God, I love the New Kids on the Block. I can't believe I'm going to go get to see them again. And it just kind of, it was perfect. It was like they went through that joke phase, but finally they got to the point where people wanted them back. Now, I think that we'll never get to that point with people like Pauly Shore. I think that I think that he's gone for good.
I think nobody ever really liked him.
I disagree, but okay.
You liked Pauly Shore?
I did, for like a stint of like a year and a half.
What?
You have to understand, like, he went through that whole MTV phase, and then he kind of goes into doing these really fast movies like Encino Man with Brendan Fraser, and he did...
Oh, Brendan Fraser is trash.
What?
I said Brendan Fraser is trash.
Oh, I hate you. But,
Well, this is the final episode of the Prattlecast.
The final episode of the Prattlecast.
Every episode's the last one.
How dare you?
Well, fuck Brendan Fraser.
You know what? If you disagree with me, you might as well unfollow me.
You know what? I'm going to not only unfollow you, I'm going to unfriend you.
Oh.
And then I'm going to block you. But I'm going to make a second account and follow you on it just so I can keep up with what you're doing and be very angry about how happy you are without me. And then I'm going to judge all your opinions very harshly and, like, tweet about you on my real account and hope that you see it, but you don't know it's about you because I didn't use your name. You'll see. I will have my revenge, bitch.
Oh, my God.
I've had just about enough. The only thing I like Pauly Shore in was he in Biodome with Stephen Baldwin?
Yeah, he was.
I liked that movie.
Yeah, that was toward the end. I think that was probably one of his last big films.
But I didn't like him. I was there for the Baldwin. And then I found Alec, and I was like, that's my favorite.
Wait, which Baldwin was in Biodome?
Steven.
The crazy, fucked up one.
The fucking... He's not... Daniel's insane, too.
Yeah, but Steven, isn't he like the crazy Republican one?
Well, you know, I mean... Daniel went through, like, very public issues with the alcohol abuse and the sexual assaults.
Yeah, but the other ones are Republicans.
Yeah.
So, no.
And then there's Alec Baldwin, who's like, fuck it. He's like...
Alec Baldwin, I mean, he's no saint either. I mean, come on. Like, I remember that...
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Like that whole voice message shit he left. Was it his daughter or was it his...
I mean, she's an asshole, right?
I mean, I'm not going to deny that his kid's probably an asshole, but, you know.
You know what? She's the asshole who decided to let everyone hear that voicemail.
I agree. I don't think she should have done that.
Why would you do that to you? I guess this one thing, like, here's the thing. Everybody freaked out over things that Alec Baldwin said, but think of the fucked up shit your parents have said to you, or that you've said to your parents, or that you've said to, you know, your significant other. Think of that. If you shared those messages, people would say the same shit about them.
Can I say one thing and then we can go back to this? I just found out. I just got news, everybody. I just got word.
Oh, God. Is this the
Donald
election?
Trump has won the Republican primary in the state of Georgia.
Oh, Georgia comes through again. Are you proud?
Yeah, I'm not.
Razzle, please. I really need to know your feelings on this. Tell me how you're feeling.
I would have actually, you know who I would have voted for? Would be that little, that feisty little chihuahua, Marco Rubio. Oh, he's feisty.
Ooh, Marco Rubio. I'm ready.
I mean,
I just shook my shoulders dramatically, too.
I would have probably picked him, or maybe Kasich, because he seems like the most sane one.
When you say his name, I think of Kimmy Gibbler's husband, and I just shake my body.
Oh, Marco.
I start to wiggle.
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio. I wiggle my body everywhere. That's all I'm doing right now is wiggling.
What was her husband's name?
Can't help it. Fernando.
Fernando.
Do you know why I know that name? Only because every time she said it, I just wanted her to start singing that song by Lady Gaga.
Oh.
Bye, Fernando. I just wanted her to sing it the whole time. I'm like, come on, Kimmy, you know the song. I know you know it. Just sing it.
You know somebody's going to make a YouTube video of, like, him to that song.
I swear to God, if anybody has any of those videos, send them to us at our email address, theprattlecast@gmail.com. I want to see them.
Hillary Clinton has also won the state of Georgia.
You guys are... Okay.
Okay.
Should I check? Should I be checking Massachusetts?
I was just looking real fast. Let me see if there's any news on.
Oh, you should check on Massachusetts.
All right.
See what we're doing with our shitty lives, because I'm not looking.
It looks like there has not been any news from Massachusetts. Bernie Sanders is hoping to win there.
Oh, Bernie.
Oh, Bernie.
I'm going to start calling him Barney.
I'm going to call him Ernie. Just because I think it would make everybody very mad.
Oh.
Call him Bernie. I don't know.
Okay. Don't we have results? I'm looking here, too.
I don't know.
Oh, there's so many delegates.
Like, I don't even know when the polls...
So many people dropped out. Huckabee? Oh, my God.
He's been gone for, like, ages.
I know, but every time I see that name, I'm like, why?
Huckabee. You know, he got, like...
Huckabee.
He lost a lot of weight, then gained it all back, and then he's like, oh, look at me. I'm Huckabee.
Now, when does this close?
Yours? I don't know when yours is closed.
Polls are open for March 1st, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., so we got 10 minutes.
Yeah, you guys aren't even closed yet.
Yeah, when did yours close?
7 p.m.
Well, George is like, we don't need a lot of time to choose Trump and Hillary, all right?
We already know. We want Hillary.
We already know. We'll be in and out real quick. Like, somebody just shows up. Hi, I'm speaking for me, my family, and our extended family. We're all voting for the same person. So, no need. This vote counts for 500 votes.
I'm looking forward to reading all the reactions tomorrow from everybody about Donald Trump winning. Oh, it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to suck.
It's going to be funny.
I'm curious now. I want to know what we got.
I think Bernie Sanders hopes to win you guys. I think he's really been trying to wine and dine you guys with, like, cottage cheese and milk because he knows that's what you guys...
With all that free shit. If you know what? If you're going to bring me free sandwiches, yes.
I can see Bernie Sanders bringing you a free sandwich.
No, but not just one. If you promise me free things, I want it all.
You want it all?
I want it all.
I want
if it's
it
free,
now.
I want everything. Yeah, it's my money and I want it now.
Jesus Christ, you guys are greedy.
What you got? Do I speak for the state of Massachusetts?
You do.
Don't do that to me.
You speak for Massachusetts.
If I'm really speaking for Massachusetts, we don't care. We're going to be angry anyway, and it's not going to affect us.
And if I speak for Georgia, we want a Gay History Month.
You speak for not Georgia.
I am so Georgia.
If you're speaking for Georgia, I think Georgia's mad.
I think Georgia doesn't like me as their spokesperson.
Yeah, I think Georgia's hunting you down as we speak. You might want to go into a program.
Georgia wouldn't even vote for me if I ran for president.
How long do you think it would take before they decided not to vote for you? Like, how many sentences deep do you go?
Well, let me see. Okay, you tell me what you...
Give me your opening.
Okay, here's my opening. Hello, Georgia. We're going...
They're done.
Okay.
They've already felt it. They're like, something's in the air. I can't vote for him. But you know what? No, okay, you give me hello, Georgia. I think they'd be wary right then and there. They're like, what's going on? Continue.
No, I think I'd be better as the first lady because then I'd be inside the background, clapping my hands and smiling and just...
Okay, if you're the first lady, are you a man dressed as a man, first lady, or are you a man dressed as a woman but still looking like a man, like poorly dressed like a woman?
No, that might be actually kind of exciting if I...
Or are you decked out full woman, no one knows?
Drag queen first lady for the United States. Just to
so you'd be dragged so everyone would know.
Just to make the people in the South more comfortable with me. I think they...
You know what? You should what you should be working on right now, you need to get in touch with Donald Trump and be like, listen, as much as I know you love your wife, I need to be your wife. I need to be the first lady.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but my dream is to become the first openly gay first lady of the United States.
Not the president.
No, I want to be married to the first openly gay president of the United States.
How stressed do you think? Do you think the president sleeps at night?
I think that Barack Obama sleeps just fine right now because he's only got a little longer to go.
Well, no, I just feel like as the president, I would be in fear the entire time.
That's why their hair always goes gray and they get older. They look like
Like,
age 30 years after.
yeah, I think I would kill myself.
I mean, it's not a fun. I don't know why.
Like, why aren't suicide rates higher?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, but then again, like, you are under so much protection. If you tried to kill yourself, your bodyguard's like, no, sir. You're committing a crime against yourself. No, you cannot kill the president. Like, I just feel like that's a very, and like, you know all these secrets. Because I like to think that they know about the aliens and shit, the stuff that I know is out there.
Be president.
Like, what would you do? Like, we're friends. I'm trying to talk to you. And I'm like, hey, Razzle, anything big going on in the White House? Anything big? And all you can do is look at me and be like, oh, no, I mean, no. But, like, if it was me, I'd let stuff leak. I'd be like, someone close the door. Whisper. Put the blinds down. Put the loud music on. And I'd be like, we are not alone.
You know?
And I'd give you the eyes. I'd be like, it's real. Forget everything you thought you knew about probes.
Someone told me, I don't remember who it was, but somebody told me that they speculated that when every new pope is chosen, that they're like taken to a room with like a black box, and only the pope has the key to it, so no one else knows what's inside, and that the pope will open this box, and in there is written like a statement saying that God isn't real. Good luck.
What I immediately thought is that it was like Regina's little boxes of hearts, and it just held Jesus' heart. And they just had the keys. And they gave it a light squeeze. What
do you think Jesus' heart would taste like? Like roast beef or ground beef? I'd think ground beef.
See, Jesus' heart would taste like ground up chicken that was left in the sun.
Well, I'm not really happy with Catholics, so like they're going after the Girl Scouts right now. So. Yeah.
I know. I happen to be a Girl Scout. Okay.
Oh my God, are you really a Girl Scout?
Yeah, I actually just officially joined as an adult.
Oh my God, are you selling cookies?
Yeah,
you need to tell people where they can buy cookies from you.
You know what? I was announcing it on Twitter. I announced it everywhere, and not a single one of you motherfuckers asked for cookies. I would have mailed them out. I did. I was like gonna ship them across the country because I just wanted. We sold $790 worth of cookies.
$790.
Fuck bitches get money.
Oh my God.
Did good. I don't think the Girl Scouts are happy that I speak for them, but that's okay. They don't need to be.
You now speak for the Girl Scouts of America.
I speak for the Girl Scouts. Fuck Catholics. Just eat a cookie, guys. Get over it.
Oh,
like if you saw that thing of Leonardo Dicaprio sitting there eating the Girl Scout cookies and how happy he was, like, and then there's that thing now where people are saying like, I wish someone would look at me the way Leonardo DiCaprio looks at Girl Scout cookies.
That, yeah.
And I was just like, oh man, he's eating the shortbread cookies. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I heard he won an Oscar finally.
He did, and his speech was so amazing.
I didn't hear it. What was it?
He was like, it all came down to him talking about the planet because he's really he's like he's huge in the whole preventing global warming, changing the environment, like doing good things for the environment. That's like his whole thing. Mm-hmm. And he puts a lot of money and a lot of his free time into that. So his whole speech was about when he was making the Revenant, how they had to travel a lot to get the weather they needed because global warming made it really hard. And climate change made it hard for them to find locations that they needed and would normally be able to use. And he was going on and on about how, we can't take this world for granted. He's like, we have to stop taking our planet for granted, and we have to take care of it, and we have to make a difference because we're all this planet has. He's like, don't take your world for granted. I certainly don't take tonight for granted. Thank you. And then he just walked off. And I'm like, this motherfucker wins his first Oscar. He's just like, save the planet, you ignorant asshole. I think he called everyone an asshole. And I'm like, and he's like, I don't take tonight for granted. Stop taking the earth for granted. And he just leaves like a boss. I'm like, damn, Leo. And then he's eating his Girl Scout cookies. He's like, nom, nom, nom. Life is good. But it was a great speech. I mean, it was different.
It reminds me a little bit of when, The Godfather won. What was his name?
Oh, the guy who plays the Godfather? Oh shit, Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando won, and he didn't even
Can't
go.
forget Marlon Brando.
And he got that Native American woman to appear for him, and she accepted the award on his behalf, and then read a statement about, God, I don't even remember what, but it was like, just like protesting like the government's or Hollywood's treatment of Native Americans, I believe, is what it was.
God.
And like it was great.
That's a little too intense.
It was like, holy shit, because Marlon Brando hated the Oscars. He thought it was such a sham. He didn't want anything to do with it. And I think the only reason that he paid for that award, so to speak, was so that he could do that.
Well, that's like when I don't know if you ever saw the thing of Jerry Seinfeld when he accepted an award, and all he had to he got on stage and started laughing, and he was like, "This is such a piece of shit." That's the first thing he said. He's like, "Look at all of us." He's like, "What do we do? Nothing." He's like, "Half of the people in here, like, you all are great actors. All you're doing is reading a script." He's like, "You're playing pretend like children." He's like, the one thing I can say for comedians is we work really hard with what we write. He's like, we're writers. We work really hard to be funny and to bring you entertainment. And he's like, and I feel like we have it a lot harder. He's like, we put work in. We earn these awards. He's like, but I didn't earn this. He's like, I read a script. He's like, none of us deserve to be here, to be sitting here dressed nice, getting fucking awards that mean nothing. He's like, what are you going to do? Put this on your resume? And he was just shitting. He was like calling out George Clooney and everyone else. He's like, none of you are worth anything. He's like, you're just reading lines. He's like, that's it. And he's like, so thanks for the award, but I don't care. Like, he just didn't give a shit. And I was like, you're great. You're a cool guy. But I agree with him in a lot of ways. Because it's like, because he was kind of speaking for all the comedians that work their asses off just trying to write shit in the hopes that it's going to entertain people.
Yeah.
Because that whole world of comedy is like a giant fighting pit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it rolls around so much. Like, first somebody's on top with their material, then that same person's all the way on the fucking bottom, and it's a really big pit. And SNL is a huge part of that pit.
Well, yeah, like in a lot of the old sketch shows were always stealing other people's material. Like in Living Color did it constantly. Because I remember I was hearing this on like the Joe Rogan podcast where he was talking about it, how like the in Living Color writers, they were actually banned from going to the live shows from some comedians because they would steal all this material and put it on their show because they were so stressed with trying to find new material for every week that they would do that. It's a lot harder to do it now, but you still see it happen on occasion, and people can catch it more easily.
I mean, and the thing is, and I think why SNL has been around as long as it has is because, like, they're still writing week by week. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it's a hit or miss.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what any live thing is going to be. And I think that's why people still watch it and why it's still relevant is because it's just, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's just like, is this going to suck? Is it going to be good? And so many stars have been essentially born from SNL. Mm-hmm. So many people we love come from there. And I think a lot of people forget that, how many people came from SNL. Like, going back and seeing some people from their startings are just insane.
I mean, the first star was Chevy Chase, and, like, he was only there for a year.
Oh, baby.
And then he left the show because he felt like he was really hot stuff, and then I think he regretted it. But actually, Chevy Chase, if I remember right, he was the only one who had the line live from New York at Saturday night. So when he left, other people had to fill in to do it because he would usually open the show doing like this bumbling president bit, and then he would fall or he would trip over something, and it would be some kind of slapstick physical humor. And then after he fell, he would go, live from New York, it's Saturday night, and that was just his bit. And so 1 year later, he's gone, and so they're like, okay, well, let's just keep doing it. So if I remember right, that's where it came from.
There was so many. I remember Vince Vaughn was on there.
Dan Aykroyd, what's his name? His friend, John Belushi. And a lot of these guys.
I have the best of John Belushi from SNL, and I love him.
And I felt like SCTV was better than Saturday Night Live, but it was only on.
What is that?
SCTV.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it was only on for like 4 or 5 years. It's where people like John Candy, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, even Martin Short all came from that. So it was kind of like, in my opinion, it was a better show, but it didn't last as long. It didn't get the traction that SNL did. But, life goes on.
It's good shit, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's good shit.
Definitely.
Well, we're coming up on our hour and 20 minutes here.
Oh, my God. Super Tuesday is coming to, it's 8 p.m. You want to check the news real fast? Let's
Oh,
check the news
shit.
real fast,
See,
guys.
I was trying to keep us going so I could see this.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
They said they have the results.
Oh, they do?
No!
Who won?
No!
Who?
Oh, God!
What is it? Tell me.
Oh, my God.
What happened?
Hold on. Let me just double-check my sources. Let me just double-check my
double-checking your sources.
Don't you dare look up anything right now.
Why not? What's going on? Tell me what's happening.
I just read one thing. Super Tuesday voter turnout in Massachusetts projected to smash presidential primary records. All right, let's see.
Did you guys go for Bernie? Are you guys hot for Bernie?
Results. So hot for Bernie. Okay, so because don't we get like a Republican and Democrat thing? Don't we get one from both?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Okay, we've only got one right now.
Okay.
There are no results yet for the Democratic primary.
So who won the Republican? Was it Trump?
Yeah.
Trump actually won?
Trump won Massachusetts.
I don't believe you. Hold on one second. Let me Google this. I don't believe this for a second.
Yeah.
All I see is one thing here saying, will Massachusetts go for Trump?
Yeah, it says Trump has won Massachusetts according to the Associated Press.
Oh my goodness, Jake. Trump has taken everybody by storm. So he's our next president, everybody. Everybody remember to say hello to dear leader, President Trump, and say your blessings.
I'm just like, hold on. This is all, I need like current. That was 5 hours ago.
5 hours ago? Well, that's not even accurate.
No, not that. This last thing. Hold on. I'm in a very bad state of denial right now. I don't
think they've actually called it for anybody in Massachusetts.
Okay, hold on.
It's like everybody listening to this is like, guys, we already know who won. The latest
results from the 2016 Massachusetts presidential primary held March 1st, 2016, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's loading a map. I think it's just picking for us.
Okay, so...
Because it doesn't say a percent or the number of votes yet.
Okay, so right now it's still too close to call, we're going to say.
Then why is there a check mark on Donald Trump?
I don't know, Shake. Maybe they've called it. But, I mean, by the time people hear this, they're already going to know who won, so... Yeah,
they're going to be like, y'all are stupid. If it's Donald Trump, I'm sad. I'm sad for my state.
Why are you sad?
Good job, Massachusetts. You fucked up.
Oh my God, Shake. So apparently Massachusetts and Georgia have a lot in common.
Well, this might be why we're friends.
We're friends because of Donald Trump.
Thank you, Donald. You've done so much for me in my life. I don't know how to thank you. See, okay, I wonder if I pull this up. It still says closed at 8 p.m., so they might not even have done it yet.
All right.
I'm seeing now. Polls are now closed. That was 7 minutes ago, so they're probably still counting. Right?
Well, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how close it was.
Oh, God. I'm terrified. I am so scared. Okay. Well, I don't know why I give a shit. I'm not going to care anyway once I know. But it'll be interesting. But anyway, I think we're gonna end there tonight. Okay. Do you feel good about ending here tonight?
I feel good about ending our Super Tuesday coverage right here.
Yeah, I'm good. I gotta pee too, so I gotta go. Yeah, we've done a lot of political conversation today. This is more political conversating than I've ever done in my life, I think. But that's okay. But thank you all for joining us for yet another episode of the Prattlecast. I again am hoping that we have improved our quality a bit more every time and that things are getting better. So please subscribe to us on iTunes. We have YouTube up as well. You can subscribe to us there. Anything helps. Pass us around to your friends. We want to be in everyone's ears. Like, we just want to be there, hanging out, chilling. You can email us with questions, comments, topics, anything you want at theprattlecast@gmail.com. You can reach us also at Twitter at theprattlecast. Our personal Twitters are Shakezilla TV and Razzle Dazzles. You know who's who. Our Twitch channels are exactly the same. Not that we've been there, but we will be because we've fixed the issues. And you can also send us a voicemail at SpeakPipe. I know you guys aren't using that yet, and I hate you for it because I want to use it very badly. So, but please don't leave a voicemail just to leave one because I won't play it. That'll upset me. Just do me a favor. Leave us a message. Show us some love. Give us something, guys. Interact with us. We want you. Bad. But that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with yet another episode of the Prattlecast. Have a good night, everybody.